The Disney Renaissance gave us some instant classics, and at the top of many millennials' lists is none other than Aladdin. The apple-thieving street rat is getting reimagined in Walt Disney Studios' latest live-action adaptation. The production isn't without its own interesting facts, and there are some super minor, non-plot related spoilers ahead, so be wary, travelers. Without further ado, here are 8 things you didn't know about Disney's new live-action Aladdin. Movie magic is forever changing as new technology gets more advanced. This has led the industry into a more commonly used motion capture process whenever an actor undergoes a complete transformation for a character. At first glance, audiences probably assume that Will Smith became the genie through this mocap process, but believe it or not, the genie is actually 100% CGI, which came with some added benefits.
People look at it and they think it's my face blue and it's my body. The genie is 100% CGI. There's none of me in the genie. We run the scenes and everything, and I could do it on set, so I would improv on set. Then we would do the first round of CGI work, and then we could go again and we could work it. Then Guy watched the whole movie, and then I had another chance to go back, and we could play with lines and make adjustments because they were going to create it anyway. For me, there was tons of improv.
Sets can be a stressful environment, especially when working on a multi-million-dollar Disney project. Sultan actor Naveed Nejaban said that one day on set, there was a noticeable quarrel that resulted in some crew members yelling at each other. He said in that moment, Jasmine actress herself, NAOMI Scott, channeled her inner Disney princess to diffuse the situation.
And this girl took the mic, went over on the balcony, and said, "We can be nicer to each other, can't we?" So the princess is inside her. I'll never forget that day. Do you remember the day that we were on the balcony and somebody down there was yelling?
I'm gonna go with. I was me.
By the sounds of it, it seems like NAOMI and Jasmine have a lot in common. Legendary actor and comedian Robin Williams gave a performance of a lifetime as Genie. Will Smith, unsurprisingly, said he was scared and nervous to take on the role, and it wasn't until reworking Alan Menken's Friend Like Me when he discovered exactly how we could put his own spin on such a classic character. Smith went back to his hip-hop roots to make something that was distinctively his.
The song that got me over the hump of, yes, I can play Genie was Friend Like Me. I went into the studio the first day and I really wanted to play with it to see if I could add something to it. And, literally 30 minutes in the studio, that 94, 96 BPM range is right old school hip hop. I grabbed the Honey Drippers, Impeach the President, which is a really classic old school hip hop break beat, and I had them throw that break beat under there. And I messed with that, and I messed with Eric B. and Rakim's I Know You Got Soul under Friend Like Me, and I was like, oh my God, I'm home. And then I started playing with the hip-hop flavor, and then the Genie was really born in my mind from the music, and what I understood once I played with Friend Like Me.
Composer Alan Menken even let Will take the reins on his interpretation.
Will, and you threw a hell of a party in that house, and I just loved it. Once he did that, I just back off and let him do what he does, because it's so good.
The animated Aladdin came with its own feats for the Disney company, like giving us their first Middle Eastern-inspired film and our first Disney princess of color. Disney has continued to tell stories centered around different cultures, and this new Aladdin adaptation is one of the most diverse casts for the studios to date. This cast represents director Guy Ritchie's multicultural vision of Agrabah. Aladdin actor Mina Massoud, along with Will Smith, say that this aspect of the film meant the most to them.
I'm especially proud of the representation and the ethnically diverse casting that was put together for this. It's not often you can go to a movie theater and see all people of color represented like this. It's certainly something that I was missing in my childhood. I'm excited for little boys and girls to go see people that look like them on screen, man. That's what I'm proud of.
It's important to be able to pull stories, colors and textures and tastes from around the world. I think that in this particular time in the world, that kind of inclusion and diversity, it will be a critical part transitioning that connectivity into harmony is going to be really critical. And I think these kinds of interactions in these types of movies are a powerful global service.
Guy Ritchie is known for directing films that don't exactly fall under the family-friendly umbrella that is a Disney movie. His previous work like Snatch, Man from U.N.C.L.E., and Sherlock Holmes weren't exactly titles he could watch with his 5 kids. He is, though, overwhelmingly familiar with Disney, with his oldest kid only at 19, and it turns out Aladdin was surprisingly within his wheelhouse.
By sort of family demand, it was about time I made a movie that we could all watch together. Aladdin ticked the box in the sense that it was a street hustler and I was familiar with that territory. My wife is a big Disney fan, and anything to do with Disney princesses is high on her list. And frankly, I was just ready to do something in this world.
It's no secret that Genie uses his powers to control Aladdin. During one scene in particular, Aladdin approaches Jasmine in the palace and she asks him to dance, but afraid of his abilities, he motions for the genie's help. The result that plays out on screen is a pretty funny moment that was choreographed by, shall we say, unconventional means?
Me and Guy had a fun time during that because I had to learn that choreography at the beginning, but then pretend like the genie was manipulating me. So we tried doing it with mime, and then Guy actually had this brilliant idea to actually attach these long puppeteering arms onto me and physically manipulate me. So we had a lot of fun with that piece. It was definitely a fun part of the whole process.
Speaking of dancing, choreographer Jamal Sims actually has his own cameo in the film.
Make you a prince.
Oh, no.
Y'all see my palace?
We will also be seeing more of Jamal very soon as Dr. Facilier in the upcoming Disney Channel film Descendants 3. Being inducted to the Disney family is a pretty big deal, but for Naomi Scott, this actually wasn't her first project in Disney Entertainment. At 18, Naomi played a high school bassist in the 2011 Disney Channel original movie Lemonade Mouth. Not only did Naomi wield a bass for the film, she provided some vocals as well, but nothing like you'd hear in Princess Jasmine. She's got another pretty unique skill set. Just check her out during this press segment for the film.
It's when I'm having some music like a veteran, renegade, lemonade, use it in my method and going ahead and trending in my band way better than reason why the whole world's picking us instead of them. People need a breather because they're feeling that adrenaline. Stop! Now hurry but listen, knock, because we're coming to your house and people keep on smiling like it's lemon in the mouth and the real deal. You know how I feel. Well, you're in it for the bill. I'm just in it for a thrill. Get down. Now, I ain't playing around. Get your feet up on the ground to make that sound like, whoa!
Will Smith has had a hugely successful career spanning back to the 90s with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Bad Boys, Men in Black, and let's not forget a shameless favorite of mine, Wild Wild West. The now 50-year-old actor has had time to reflect on his career and the type of actor and human he wants to be. His personal life now resonates with Genie.
The genie has these, spectacular powers, but he's shackled. Like he's a prisoner of his spiritual fate. And that's sort of how I felt with Will Smith. I was sort of shackled by Will Smith. And in these last couple of years, I've just started finding my freedom, where getting free of Will Smith and I'm getting more comfortable being me. Aladdin was that first step back out. I'm going out into the world and I have a big voice and people look and people listen. And I just want to make sure I'm saying things that improve and contribute to people's life and growth and joy and evolution.
It sounds like Will has taken a lot away from his characterization as Genie, and that can easily be seen when he was asked what his one wish would be.
My one wish would be divine understanding. That lack of understanding, confusion is the mother of fear and violence. So for me, I would absolutely wish for divine understanding to be shared with all. I think that understanding is the seeds of peace.
The new Aladdin plays perfect homage to the animated film, and any fan of the original wouldn't be disappointed in Disney's retelling. I'd love to know your thoughts on the film if you've seen it already, and what production fact you found most interesting. Are there more you think I left out? Let me know below. For more Disney content, be sure to click subscribe while you're here, and I'll see you next time.